Hello everyone, welcome. Good morning. I have been working this week on the windmill that I have finished already, and I have been spending maybe 3 days working on these charts, which is more or less finished. Just missing a few details, but I didn't have time to do them on out of the camera, so I will do next day. And I have found also the sound that I was just trying to create for this one yesterday, so maybe I will do later for that. And in the afternoon, I have been working with a new mechanic. Just this one as testing for this item, where you can just put a few items there, and then after passing time, those items are being converted to another item. Let's say, for example, you are putting there food for chicken, and after that, you just gathering later eggs, let's say, or for example, on the windmill, that you are just putting there all the seeds, and after some time, you are just gathering all the water that you are producing. So it's just a new kind of mechanic for crafting, a bit different, but I think will be really useful on the game. And I'm just thinking a few places that I could just use this one. So I will doing yesterday almost everything, and I will probably today I will fix a few things that are still pending, and I would like to have, instead of maybe items that I'm using, I will probably use recipes for them. So I will just check a few things for this mechanic, that maybe I will be just fixing a few bugs or things not being working, and I will just try to put some of them in some places in the game, so maybe we'll see a few missing things that I'm not aware right now. Let me just hide this, which is not needed. In fact, I could just delete this. We don't need this anymore. Okay, yeah, I was just missing this one. Also, if I'm using blueprint, I will just hide this. Probably the chat also. So let me just open this one, the blueprint, and I will just explain more or less what is doing. So here I can just configure. As you see here, I can configure, for example, the capacity of the item that I can just put there. And right now all the items are stackable, so this is a number of items and not different. This is different items, so I can have like 3 different items, but it's not counting the number of them at the moment. So here I have the allowed items that I can just put there. Let's say I can put seeds. This is a time just for testing, of course, that this time is being passed before one, unless the items are being converted to a new one. And this is a list of produced items, so in case they are taking this one, producing this, taking this one, producing this one. I will maybe try to do kind of receipts. So let's say allow receipts, so it's easy to find all the items that are being allowed for that. And after that, also I have also the time for every receipt to be producing, and I have the items that are being produced for those receipts. So this is working instead of paying item by item. Could be maybe doing like receipts, but it's just converting to this one. Maybe I'm not really need this, so this is something that I'm thinking about, but maybe I don't need this one. But yeah, at least I would like to have those receipts that I have one by one. I have receipts that are just creating one by one, so this receipt creating this seed to this floor, let's say, or well, this is wet. This is wait. Tree floor and this wet floor, that's fine. Okay. So I would like just to change this item to be receipts, and then from those receipts I'm taking all the items, or let's say ingredients that I'm just needing. This is working exactly the same, but I would like to take the items from receipts and not from a manually setting here. So it's just much easier to control everything from C++. So I will just having this. I will hide also the gallery at the moment, and I will just have a look on the chat, probably like this. So in case someone is writing, you can see them, or this is just missing. Okay, I will just hide also the chat. I hope don't forget about this, because sometimes I forgot completely. I think that's useful having here all the information, and also here yesterday I didn't take care of this, so maybe we just working on some areas and you didn't see this one because I have those overlays. So what I'm doing here is adding variable that will be like allow recipes and not ingredients. So those are receipt, okay, and this also right, and this one. So just to keep everything working, I will just hide this, so there's not an option to be defined on those items, but just the recipes. So after that, when I'm just beginning, let's say here on the beginning, what I need to do is converting, or let's say populating these allowed items needs to be populated from the receipts. So for all the receipts that I have here, I will do like a loop for each loop, and for each receipts I'm just adding there all the ingredients. I don't remember I have this one already, so this is array, break receipts probably, yeah, exactly, ingredients that I have here. So for each ingredient, for each loop again, so I have this item, just breaking this, so it's the number of them that I need, but in fact the only thing that I need is the item that are being assigned or adding to this one. So adding here, what I need to do is this item, so will be added for that. This is the loop, so I'm adding each ingredient for this recipe as allowed ingredient for that, and this is the loop here, and I think that's all. So this is just, let's put a comment, so something like that, or taking allowed items from receipts, and everything should be working exactly the same, but just defining receipts instead of defining okay, receipts. Oh wait, I don't want to have this one, so something is not going well. This is kind of receipt, but I would like to define the receipt that I have. Let me just check any other crafting that I have already. So because I have been defining this one, so crafting recipe is, yeah, this is a recipe. Okay. E item type, yeah, probably it's yeah, exactly, to produce them. Just change this. So loop recipe. This for each. And what I need to take is the ingredients. So for that I have maybe this item factory. Game manager, and then from game manager probably I can take this item factory. Get ingredients, exactly, so I can use them as yeah, so just passing which item, it's just finding if this is a receipt and then just finding all of them. So this is exactly the same, but what I need to do is just remove this, and this each loop is going on the same direction, so I don't need this, just to replace everything. And I will explain again what is this doing happening here. So doing exactly the same, I have all the receipts that are just having items. So per each item that I have here, in case that this is a receipt, you can just take the one from the item factory. It's just finding which ingredients are needed for those items in case that is a receipt. I will just try to do something clear here. But that's exactly the same, different steps with exactly the same thing. So this is just taking the ingredients for each recipe that I'm just defining here. So exactly the same. Take all the recipes and then per each recipe, in that case is just one item. In that case it's just going to this manager and then giving me the ingredients that are needed to create this recipe, which is exactly what I need. It's just taking those ingredients, and for all of them I will add them on the allowed items that I'm using for that. So let me see now if I can just define the recipe. So in case that I want to create, let's say flour, dry flour, and I will add also wet flour. So they are both of them being allowed to be creating, let's say this one. So they produce it and it's not really needed, but just in case I'm just doing the same things. So let me see. Oops. I will change also how the items are being produced from those receipts and not from allowed item, but the allowed items will be working fine now. So this is the first step, defining receipts and not items. And I will modify also the one generating producing items from receipts. So the first thing is just being sure that I cannot add any other item. So the only one that I can add is this and this. So they are being allowed, that's fine. Okay, they are being produced because they are taking item by item, that's fine. But what I want to have is creating from receipts. Okay, so yeah, everything is working. This is the first step, and then we'll modify them. So this is just taking the ingredients that are needed. I will just do this convert that I have already one function here. So this convert item, and let's say from the allowed items should be, in that case, should be the allowed receipts. Okay, so let's just move this one. So from allowed receipts, what I will do is just trying to create one of them. So this for each loop, and then I will take the same here with ingredients. So that's exactly the same here. Get ingredients, convert item, and what I need to do now is checking if the player have all those ingredients. So this player, oops, get inventory, and inventory is just having this function, so has ingredients, and this is saying yes or no. Okay, so I'm just taking this, and this is the item that I'm just trying to produce. Okay, this is the item that I'm trying to produce, and this is checking for well, this is not player, but sorry, is my inventory here. Okay, so if the storage have all the ingredients, so you can produce a new one. This is actually the same. So in case that you can produce this one, is having like this. So removing from this inventory and then creating this. I don't remember. I will just check on this one. Craft receipt. That's exactly the same. Just taking here, crafting receipt, time start, time end. I think I have this one already done, so I'm just checking. Security delay. Well, I don't remember. So let's say that hola Skimes, hola, bienvenido por aquí. No te había visto, perdón. Buenos días. So what we need to do is from the inventory we have all the ingredients, that's true, so we need to convert, or let's say craft this recipe from the inventory. So for that what we need to do is remove items. This is one thing only. Can I just craft recipe? Craft recipe, exactly. So I have a function that is doing exactly the same. So just converting and I'm adding a new one for that. So what I need to do is this recipe, which is just coming from this item. Let me see. Well, you can just make recipe, and yeah, this is just created like, okay, items here. This is the ingredients, and then let's say that's immediately it's just creating the new one. So in case that this is crafting, let's say branch. Okay, let's say that's done, and I think it's, yeah, exactly, this is C++ code. Oh no, it's just trying to load Visual Studio, sorry. Okay, let's ignore. So okay, this is just crafting this item. I think it's just putting also in the inventory. In case that that's working, we will stop. So let's say we already has produced one, and I need to do all of this again. Which is just producing the item and then trying to craft, or just put a new function for after some time crafting a new item again. But in case that we are not, I mean, if we don't have enough items or things like that, it's just taking the next one, the recipes, and then just continue with this one. So I will just move the process, and now should be just doing exactly the same here, but instead of just converting one by one, we'll be converting all of them for the recipes. In that case, the recipes that I'm using, they are having exactly the same, so it's one by one. That's not a problem. But let's check this. Okay, first thing is just adding the one that is there. That's fine. And I will wait for 5 seconds. Okay, this is converting one. Then 5 seconds, converting a new one, and then 5 seconds. Well, it was too fast. But since working also, since working with ingredients already. Let's try again. It's just creating 2 of them already. So that's strange, because it's just creating one and then waiting, creating another one and then waiting, and so on. In case that this is not, should be just taking here, not ingredient, then the next loop. But what I would like to do is just after creating one, not trying any other in the array. I don't think that I need this blocker. I will just put some message. So it seems to me that this is creating the first one and then creating the second one already. What is happening with this update producer event? I would like to see what's happening here. I'll just updating the user interface, that's fine.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Let me see if I can just close this one or not. Hombre, Guillem, ¿qué tal? Bienvenido por aquí. Y Asha también, hola, muy buenas. No te he visto, no sé por qué, creo que hay algún problemilla con el chat. Estoy intentando cerrar... Visual Studio, pero parece que no se deja. Una nueva mecánica, Guillem. Creo que no la viste ayer porque no estuviste, pero... Una nueva mecánica. No, simplemente que le he pulsado y uno de los nodos que tenía era de C++ y se ha puesto a abrir el Visual Studio. Que por supuesto no lo abro nunca en el streaming porque, como os imagináis, tardará como unos 10 minutos en abrirse, me bloquea el ordenador entero y todo eso. No puedo abrir las dos cosas a la vez, así que intento cerrarlo, pero ya veis que sigue ahí con el load Visual Studio, que ya lo he cerrado, pero que sigue ahí el disco duro a tope. En fin, Visual Studio, que la verdad lo odio. Lo odio. Voy a cerrar el proceso a mano y ya está. En fin, lo dejaremos porque creo que se ha quedado ahí pillado y ya está. Lo voy a dejar ahí. Lo que he estado haciendo ahora en este rato es que puedes definir recetas aquí. En vez de ingredientes, son las recetas y él ya te coge los ingredientes posibles y te los produce y todo eso. Produce item me parece que no me hace falta. Eso que como una cosa rara. A ver. Ok. No lo sé. Sé que le defino simplemente las recetas que quiero y él ya me coge ahí los ingredientes, me permite solo añadir esos ingredientes y cuando realmente ya se produce uno que convierte solo, digamos, las recetas con todos los ingredientes que yo pudiera llevar. Es decir, si tengo recetas aquí que puedan tener otros tipos de ingredientes, que no lo sé si tengo alguno, por ejemplo, wet flour. Aquí, por ejemplo, vamos a ver qué pasa con eso. Ese sí. Vale, esto no para. acuerdo, no para porque convert item, start production. Vale. Aquí es que ayer estaba comprobando que tenía si tenía item suficiente para, digamos, para convertir, pues que seguía comprobando hasta que eso estuviese. No, el barril sería el sitio donde yo hago el crafting, ¿vale? El barril es donde yo hago crafting. Y en este barril, digamos que puedo definir, da igual, es decir, barril puedo cogerle cualquier cosa, puedo poner una mesa, ¿vale? O sea, puedo poner lo que quiera, o una mesa. Es decir, la idea es que esto yo lo ponga lo pongo, por ejemplo, en el molino, ¿vale? Entonces yo vengo aquí y le digo, este objeto, esta caja, esto lo que sea, tiene, en este caso, tiene 2 recetas posibles que se pueden hacer, o 3, ¿no? En este caso las que yo haya puesto que estoy poniendo, ¿vale? Y la capacidad es 5 ítems que puedes poner como máximo para llegar a las recetas y tal. Y he puesto también que cada 5 segundos se craftea, digamos, una de las recetas que tengo, ¿vale? Hombre, Lucky, bienvenido por aquí. Sí, todavía yo te entiendo. Los demás no, pero yo sí. Entonces yo le pongo las recetas que son, le digo el tiempo y cuando yo pongo elementos aquí, él después de ese tiempo, el que sea, pues va produciendo un ítem a partir de los ingredientes que hay. En este caso, al poner recetas, él me hace un ítem nuevo, digamos que produce uno después de X tiempo cogiendo todos los ingredientes para producir esa receta. No es como ayer que hacemos uno a uno, ¿no? Pues aquí estoy dándolo todo, estoy haciendo una mecánica nueva y lo que le comentaba ayer a Asa, me sorprende que no hay nadie, a nadie le interesa nada de ni gameplay, ni mecánicas, ni nada de eso. Una pena, la verdad, porque luego siempre viene aquí la gente a preguntar, enséñame el código, ¿cómo has hecho esto? ¿Cómo has hecho lo otro? Y cuando lo hago no le interesa a nadie, la verdad. Pero bueno, aquí estoy haciéndolo. Y he hecho una mecánica nueva que sirve, por ejemplo, imagínate que esto fuese donde tienes gallinas, ¿no? He puesto una mesa por poner cualquier cosa para que tenga un modelo que haga colisión y me haga, o sea, que tenga para hacer el crafting. Pues que puedas poner, por ejemplo, alimento de gallina y después de X tiempo ese alimento de gallina se convierte en huevos que puedes recoger. Y puedes hacer cualquier tipo de receta que yo ponga, claro, te digo, y él cada X tiempo te va produciendo las recetas o lo que sea. Hola Enrique, bienvenido por aquí. Esa es la idea. Entonces, aquí lo que hay que hacer es produce item, inventory. Dígame, esa pregunta loca. Me dará que una función, porque así lo quito de aquí. Produce, ready to produce y output red boolean. ¿Código se añade al objeto en forma de componente? No. O sea, yo hago un componente en código y ese componente lo puedo utilizar. Vale, hay un formato para actor, digamos que es extiende de la clase actor, y hay otro formato que es para componente que es extiende de la clase componente en C++. Entonces extiendo de la clase componente y ya tengo mi clase que extiende de componente y es un componente a su vez. Y ese componente lo puedo utilizar igual que cualquier otro de los componentes. Add component y puedo añadir cualquier componente, sea de C++ o sea creado por la Unreal Engine, que es exactamente igual. Es decir, extiende de component está hecho en C++. Se pone aquí igual que el tuyo. Ya puedes crear los tuyos o puedes coger los que ya están, digamos, creados. Exactamente igual, o sea que no hay ninguna diferencia. Si te fijas, pues tengo aquí unos cuantos components míos. Todo esto que pone custom, todos estos son míos, lógico. Y no sé si hay alguno más que haya por ahí, o sea que sí. No sé si hay alguno más que tenga mío. Sí, en principio todos estos que son custom son components míos. No sé si faltará alguno. Y como hayas llamado, sí, como hayas llamado a la clase, hay una sintaxis para que coincidan los nombres, tienes también para poner etiquetas y demás, o sea que luego tú ya defines el nombre que quieras. Entonces lo pones como un componente que está aquí. Esto sería la escena si yo quiero poner aquí, digamos, actores y componentes. Entonces hay como dos grupos. Unos que son actores y otros son componentes. ¿Vale? Un componente lógicamente extiende y no tiene ni nada visible ni nada, es simplemente código, pero no tiene, digamos, lo mismo que un actor. De un componente en este caso, por ejemplo, utilizo el inventario, que es un componente que se añade a cualquier actor. En realidad no tiene que tener visible, ni tiene un modelo para dibujar, ni nada de eso, simplemente código en el que maneja pues, una lista interna de ítems en los que puede pues, añadir, borrar, quitar y hacer unas cuantas más cosas. Eso sería un componente, una parte que tiene código que maneja algo que tú puedes añadir a un actor. ¿Vale? X. Okay. No, una pregunta normal y corriente. Si no lo has usado nunca, te explico cómo funciona el tema de componentes y actores. Que en Unity se llaman de otra manera, que otros se llaman Game Actor o Game Entity o Entity, pero es lo mismo. Un actor, un entity, un Game Entity, como quieras llamarlo, es lo mismo en cualquier engine que estés usando. Lo mismo es decir, es un elemento mínimo que puedes poner en el mapa y que tiene, se supone, código o algo que hacer, ¿no? O sea, en este caso, mi caja para crafting es un actor, que lo pongo, que tiene un modelo que se pinta, se renderiza, ¿vale? Y tiene una serie de propiedades como un actor cualquiera en el mapa. Un actor cualquiera. Actores pueden ser esto, bueno, esto sería un mes, pero es un actor, lógico. O un personaje, cualquiera de los props. O el foliage no, porque es otra cosa, pero cualquier cosa que tú veas aquí puede ser, por ejemplo, la puerta, puede ser un actor, que te quedan bien, ¿no? Ya esté hecho en blueprint o no, lo que sea. Y otra cosa son componentes, que los puedes añadir a actores, pero yo no puedo poner un componente aquí. No puedo ponerlo porque no es una cosa que yo pueda poner en el mapa, solo puedo poner actores. Entonces pongo un actor y si quiero puedo ponerle componentes, que serían partes que yo añado a un actor, algo así, ¿no? Y lógicamente tendrán que ser partes que sean reutilizables y las puedo usar en más de un actor, porque si no lo que puedes hacer es meter el código directamente en el actor, no te hace falta que sea un componente en sí. Pero se supone que un componente es partes que se pueden reutilizar entre distintos actores. Vale, ready to produce. O sea, aquí lo que hacemos ayer que era comprobamos si tiene ingredientes suficientes para, o sea, si tiene elementos suficientes para producir algún ítem, pues seguía intentándolo, ¿vale? Pero si no había ninguno ya para producir, si no había nada que hacer, pues simplemente terminaba, ¿vale? Entonces la condición, en vez de ser los ítems permitidos, lo que tiene que ser es que haya por lo menos alguno. O sea, aquí estaba comprobando simplemente los ítems permitidos si había alguno. Ahora lo que voy a hacer es si alguna de las recetas posibles es posible craftearlas, porque si no tienes elementos suficientes da igual a veces que se intente. Entonces para ello lo que voy a hacer es coger las recetas. A ver, este era el de ayer que era para ítems solamente, pero ahora lo que voy a hacer es para las recetas. Es decir, cojo la receta for each loop, y ahora lo que hago es que para cada receta compruebo si, digamos, en el inventario, que es este, has ingredients, ¿vale? Y si tiene los ingredientes, que es sí, pues si es sí, le vamos a decir si hay ingredientes para producir una receta, ¿vale? Si es no, pues que siga el loop. Y si termina el loop y no ha encontrado ninguno, pues quiere decir que no hay ingredientes para producir ninguna receta, con lo cual no tiene mucho sentido que sigamos intentando craftear nada, ¿no? Para que pare ese, digamos, ese proceso que está cada X tiempo procesándose. Y aquí me hace falta, pues, lo mismo que aquí. Que no sé si tengo alguna función genérica para esto, pero lo voy a ver ahora mismo. In Manager, Common Functions, Items. Good morning, Sulbor. Well, evening for you. Welcome. Long time ago I didn't see you here. For items, ingredients to items. What's this happening? Yeah, exactly. But he's just coming from Australia, if I remember correct. So it's around, I don't know, midnight or things like that. I don't know. So create like get present members. New function, get ingredients. And the input needs to be item. And this is as item type. And the output should be ingredients, which is ingredient array. So this is the game manager, the item factory, and that's the item that I'm trying to compare, and that's the output. For that, so I can use this function as generic items, and I could just try this pure, I think. So I don't really need to have this process already. And that's cool. Well, I was just using Spanish the last 2 weeks ago because we were promoting the Spanish creative channels on Twitch. So I was just with others, of course, that are also promoting, rotating on the main page, and the only thing that they were asking us is, of course, using Spanish. So I was just using Spanish for that week. And after that, a lot of people are coming from Spain, so I was also keeping or talking with them in Spanish for at least 1 week more. But as I say, I would like to go back to my streaming in English as the past, because most my public is just from maybe speaking English or just maybe not speaking Spanish. So that's the thing that I'm just moving back to English or trying to do. At the moment, of course, there are a lot of Spanish people here, so I'm just talking with them in Spanish. But anyway, my channel is being now it's just the main language in the chat is English, and also the first language that I have in my description of the streaming is also English for the first one. So trying to be on English everything as in the past, but well, if only a few people here is just Spanish and they are asking me, of course I will ask them and answer them in Spanish. But yeah, English is the main language again in this streaming. So common functions for that, and I will try to use this one like get ingredients. Okay, take this. So I can just remove this. Will be easier just to use this common, let's say, node. It's easier to manage. And I can also reuse this one for this ready to produce here. So get ingredients. That's all. No worries about this. Yeah, exactly. But sometimes, for example, for modeling, it's easy because also you can see all the keys and there is not much to explain. And I was also, for example, showing the picture that I'm trying to achieve. So yeah, you can just follow with the development. But for example, here, in case that I'm just trying to do new mechanics and using notes for blueprint your code, you can read them, but it may be hard if you don't understand what I'm just trying to achieve, what I'm doing altogether. So yeah, I think for any mechanics that I'm doing, it's better just playing everything in English again. So this one is checking if I have any let's say ingredient that I can just manage for crafting. So in case that I don't have any recipes that can be achieved, it will be false. So in that case, let's say stop production. So we'll be here stopping production, and I say not ready, so we'll be stopping. Let me check this again. Yeah, exactly. New people coming, most of them are already speaking Spanish, but some people that are staying here longer, more than a week. For example, I say speaking or understanding English, and also Guillem that was here before, much before this creative week, so he's also using English, no problem. Okay, so I will just try to put them, and also this one. So it should be just start production. This should be again like start production. And now I say stop production, not anymore. Even I have one of the allowed items, let's say here. This is not enough for crafting anything, so it's just stopping. That's exactly what I was just trying to do. So that's fine. Well, at the moment it's just trying to be yeah, single player game, that's fine. Trying to be kind of funny and not boring, doing like a real life. Soy yo, el título es que el título del streaming o el título del juego o qué cosa. ¿Cuál título? A ver. String information. Medieval RPG. Game dev. Unreal Engine 3D modeling. El inventario. Este. Pero es que esto es código en C++. No sé qué es lo que tengo que abrir, el título o qué. No entiendo muy bien la pregunta. La cabecera del inventario, las letras. La imagen, la foto. No. So I didn't change anything. I was just trying to click on one node that is made on C++, and this is just trying to open this Visual Studio. My computer, as you know, this is a laptop, so it's just almost collapsing. I was just clicking, closing manually. So Unreal Engine is still thinking that this is still opening, so that's why it's just keeping this one, but it's not doing anything more with that. So I'm just keeping everything as it was and doing most of the thing on Blueprint. For example, this mechanic I'm doing completely on Blueprint as usual, so that is not the problem. But my base classes were done on C++ always since I have started, so there's nothing, let's say, that I have changed it for that. Well, not everything about blueprints, because all my base classes are done on C++ since the first day, but everything over that I'm just creating on blueprints. So let's say that I have maybe 20 or 30 classes on C++ and maybe like 150 blueprints, even more. So yeah, only the base classes, like for example the inventory and things like that, and I was just mainly creating when I was just starting with the engine. Because they don't have this map or set, so it's much easier to manage on C++ than being just creating an array and checking this array all the time, and this is really a bit tedious. So we're just doing on C++, and that's all. To manage, for example, the inventory on the map is much easier using the items that you have and so on. But later in this 4.18 they added already map and set management on Blueprint already, so this is not really needed, but I'm not just moving back everything. Sí, pero bueno, es el formato de las letras, son así. Es decir, si te fijas en muchas de las letras que hay, están hechas así. O sea, que es un poco el formato de la letra. Pero no es que yo las haga a mano, es decir, esto es el formato de la letra, el texto de la letra y son así. ¿Entendéis? Fíjate aquí, ¿lo veis? Están un poco movidas. Lógico, es decir, si esto se escribía a mano, no esperaba uno hacerlo completamente todas exactamente iguales. O sea que sí, hay algunas más altas que otras. Pero es el formato de las letras, vamos. El formato es la fuente que estoy usando, o sea que... ¿Es así? Sí, es cierto, pero es el formato, o sea que... Well, not really, I didn't have any problem. I didn't have any problem with that. No, es una imagen de Photoshop. Está creado una imagen de Photoshop, por eso tiene la sombra y brillo y todo. Not really, but I was just moving one by one. So I was just moving 414 to 415, and then 16, and then 17, and then 18. So moving every time. And I was just sitting there for maybe 1 month or even more, not just jumping when this is just coming. And I was just waiting for at least the first hotfix. Of course, there is always a few things that I need to fix, but it's not really a big problem. The only problem was that even at the moment it's not so easy to have, for example, NPCs, in that case using from Pound, and then they have all the things with this controller and everything like that. So in case that I'm adding for extended class from this one on Blueprint, adding for example like static meshes or any other thing component, things like that, this having a lot of problems. Because it's just about having the child class not working very well, this polymorphism working on Blueprint. This is the main problem. So I was just refactoring a lot of things like NPCs and so on, but I was having problems since the first day, and then it's going worse and worse, and after that I was just refactoring everything. But it's not about the version, it's just about the Unreal Engine is not managing well all these polymorphisms on Blueprint classes. So I was just refactoring everything, and I didn't have any problem because I was just taking care of the problems that I have when, for example, converting to C++ with this nativize. So yeah, everything is working, and all my blueprints are converting to C++ nativize, and then compiling everything together in my C++ code plus the code that is just being generated. So that's working fine. Yeah. But yeah, it's take a bit of time, and I have ready the 19 preview, but didn't try this at least until this is final release. Otherwise I'm really spending a lot of time creating a lot of things and then just duplicating the project and spending maybe a couple of days or a month nothing. And I hope that it's just working fine. If not, I'm just moving slowly, but of course definitely moving for each version as soon as possible, but not the first day. Waiting at least for the first hotfix, things like that. So yeah, but that's working. So this one is already working, and everything that I was just planning to do, I think is working. So it's managing recipes and not ingredients, and everything is working. And the only thing that I'm doing is managing the time here, but each recipe have also the time for crafting. So I could even take this time from recipes instead of using this one. Just for testing, it's easier to have faster. The problems were coming from my side. I mean, trying to use those, I don't know, polymorphisms on the standing classes. I have a lot of problems. So I was just subdividing on two parts. One of them is let's say the pound, the model, and everything is just a pound. The only thing that I'm doing is adding a new component, which is kind of a pointer to another object, which is made on Blueprint, where you have, or I have, everything like the dialogues, the plans for all the day, the state for this NPC, the name, interactive things for the dialogues and things like that. So I was putting like logic in one object and then managing manually, and I have the pound with one link to this logic. That's all. So this is my NPC right now that's managing in both sides, so I'm not really kind of messing everything together, so it's just working fine. I didn't find any problem. I hope that I don't have any problem in the future. I'm not expecting to have any problem if I'm using not together connected for that. So what I would like to do is just using this one to be on my for example the windmill or any other place that I'm using, or I could even try to put, let's say for example you put here let's say you put here something, and after some time you receive maybe meat or things like that. It's something stupid, but I could just try to do things like that. So having for animals or places where you can just put this kind of crafting which is not blocking you. Yeah, it's just trying to open, but it's not anymore. I mean, it's not trying to open, but it's not true. But I can just restart the editor in case that, I don't know, just to remove this message all the time. And also forgot about the chat. I have this one because the problem is when I'm going to blueprints, this is really messing, I think, as you see. So that's why I'm keeping this. Yeah, something because I'm just trying to compare all the blueprints to C++ and then just trying to create classes and extending classes, and then this polymorphism is not going well with a method that they have like a macros for this C++, so they are not converting well with those macros to those things that need to be for polymorphism when you are creating or modifying on the constructor script. So this is not working well, and I'm not planning to change all the engine. So what I'm doing is just moving out of this script all the things or code that I need to manage, and that's all, you know. So having my construction script with all the logic is working fine, and then having this pound that I'm not modifying the construction script, so this is also working. Mine is working, I'm not messing. The only thing is just giving like a link for that in the begin, so this is not really in the construction. Everything is working, so I'm just kind of recreating or creating a point to this logic for each NPC when they are starting, so I don't need to mess everything on the construction script. Yeah, so I didn't want to do that. Sí, no hay herencia múltiple, pero hay interface y también las tienes aquí, tienes las interfaces, pero es que eso es exactamente igual que en C++, o sea que no es nada no es nada de Unreal Engine, es que C++ no tiene la herencia múltiple. O sea. Let's go to a new creation area because we move. I was creating a complete new area. Let me just check here. Complete new area for Newtown. Hola Xenomorphs, bienvenido. Hello, hello. So I was creating complete new area. I was just extending this one, but this was the week before or 2 weeks before this creative week. So I was just extending all of them. I was creating the trails here, all the paths, creating a few areas with more gameplay, for example, and extending everything to the area for the new town. I was creating here this part on the top with a few farms. And I was creating a completely new town that probably you have seen this one on the videos. So that I was just creating, and this week I was also creating this windmill and all this area. So I don't have still of course gameplay on this area, but yeah, I was creating a few things like for example those fences, or now the home gardens can be just applied to terrain that is not completely plain as before, and it's also working with all the raycasts and things like that. So yeah, so I was just creating completely new area with a new town, improving also the performance because the map is much bigger than it was before. Yeah, but this map has also this small market and a lot of farms, and you can see for example here that the home gardens or the farms are being applied and working perfectly fine on the terrain that is not completely plain, so this is much nicer than it was in the past. Yeah, exactly. I have I have in the past I have the watermill here that you probably have seen many times already, and this one have already sound and everything working. I will just show you on the game. And I was creating this week, I was creating a new windmill. This is a watermill. I was creating the windmill and I have all the recipes, but for that I was just talking with a guy here that maybe I need to create or have different crafting way. So that's why I'm creating this new mechanic for crafting. So you have here everything working, as you see, and you have here the crafting for that. So as any other crafting, you have the recipes here and the ingredients, and you can just create things. Okay. And this is the watermill, so you can even check here the wheel moving, have even sound. So you have everything here. So this is one for this town, and you have the same crafting here for the big house here. You can create the same, let's say the same recipes here. So creating, let's say manually for them is exactly the same, you know. And I'm just giving the option that crafting here or crafting there. But for example, for this case, I want that this is blocking. I mean, you need to be 1 hour working here to create this crafting this item, you know, manually. But in case that you are going there, for example, for this windmill or sorry, the watermill or the windmill that I have in the another town, I will just move there now. So in that case, I have also the crafting for that. I will show you. This is exactly the same crafting, the same recipe, but in that case, I would like to have like a bit different crafting, and for that, what I would like to have is just to put your items and then leave there and come later, not really blocking you for that. Just moving for testing, as you see, so everything is just moving, just for testing. So I will open this, and you see here you have exactly the same crafting with the same recipes, exactly the same. But in that case, I would like to have completely different crafting. So this is for manually, so you take one and make one, and this is blocking you. But in that case, what I would like to have is the one that I'm creating. This just put the items, leave here, come later, and you have all the items produced already after a few times, X times, something like that. So this is something different, or different crafting, not blocking for you. With the same with the bread, you are just putting all the ingredients there, and after some time you have the produced thing already. So this is one of the things that I would like to have different crafting for this one. So you put there your ingredients and then leave, and after X time, depending of the time that it's doing, it's just happening. So this is exactly the same that is happening here. So I mean, I was working on the mechanic. I need to put there only in the windmill, other places, as I say, for example, food for animals, and then you are gathering later, I don't know, let's say for chicken you put their seeds and then you receive later eggs or things like that. So for testing, just I'm using 5 seconds to produce an item, which is really low, but I mean just for testing. Okay, so what I'm doing is defining the recipes for that. So I put only the ingredients that are being able to be, for example, this one. So I put there, and after 5 seconds, this is just being converted to the floor. But if I put, let's say, 3 or 4 of them, it takes time, and every 5 seconds, which is just for testing, I will be converting one of them. So 5 seconds, this is one of them. If it is working fine, should be. So 5 seconds, and that's creating a new one. Every 5 seconds is creating one of them, which is in fact is a receipt. It's not one item, but I mean you have a few things for receipts. It's just creating one receipt per time with the item that you have. Of course, you can just leave here and coming after, let's say, 15 minutes or things like that, you know. Coming here and you have more items producing, and if I'm just waiting for 5 seconds, you see come here, all the items have been produced, things like that. So this is a bit different, and it's not blocking you. In that case, it's just 5 seconds for testing. So yeah, that's exactly the watermill and windmill probably will be exactly the same, but the one that you are doing manually should be blocking you. So let's do this blocking, and you can see the difference for that. So let's say you are coming here. The thing is, some crafting manually will be blocking you, and then the time is passing, and then you feel tired and so on. But there are others, like for example this watermelon windmill. You put the ingredients there and leave. So this is not really blocking you. So okay, I'm coming here. Let's say that I want to make this one from the seeds, which is exactly the same, but I'm doing this one manually. So this one is blocking me for, let's say, 1 hour. I'm working on it. Okay, and finally I have the item, everything like that, but 1 hour has passed because I have been blocked for this mechanic, this crafting, and then you are just more tired, more hungry and so on because 1 hour is passing. But in case of the watermelon windmill, the thing is put things there and then leave, you know, and after some time you're just coming and the items are there. So just for testing is 5 seconds, just for, to check faster, but yeah, but that's the idea, having two different ways to be crafting in different places, the same item, the same recipe, but just taking, let's say, the same time, but it's not blocking you. Just put there and leave there. That's the thing. Yeah, exactly the same. Everything is the same, but it's not blocking you. Yeah, exactly. So you put there, leave, and then come back, and then take this one. In that case, it's exactly two of them. They're exactly the same, let's say manually or not manually, but there are other things, as I say, for example, let's say this is for chickens. So you put here food for chickens, let's say seeds or things like that. You leave this one, play, and after some time come here, and let's say every hour 1 unit of seeds is converted to 1 unit of eggs, let's say something like that. So you put their food, and then after some time coming here and take the things that have been produced on it. So this kind of crafting, not blocking, can be used in more places, not only just the, you know, the windmill or watermill. Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly the thing. So it's not just putting on your inventory. You are, I don't know, 200 meters far from this point. So yeah, this is just storing there, you know. Yeah, you can put there, let's say forget, I come later for them. But also I would like to have, at the moment it's not there, but it's not really hard to do, like some of the products can be just lost. Let's say you are not taking on time, or for example, let's say the food you are not just consuming for a long time or going there, so some of them are being lost, things like that. Or for example, if you put there, I don't know, creating bread, you have some time window that you can still take this one, otherwise will be completely black and you have lost this one. You are not coming, let's say, on time, things like that. Yeah, that's the same with planting farming. So you are working on each plant a bit, some amount of time per day, and you are working every day, and after a few days you can just already harvest this one. But if you are not working on it for, let's say, 2 or 3 days, I didn't do that yet, but if you are not working on it for a few days, you are just losing this plant, let's say. So you are losing your time that you are being spending on that, and also you are losing your the money that you are spending to buy the seeds for that, you know. Well, in that case, you need to work on plants. After a few days, you are just losing. Let's say that you have here, I don't know, food, eggs, or for example the seeds or wheat or things like that. Maybe I can put like 1 or 2 or 3 days, things like that. You are just losing this one. But yeah, that's the idea. And also there is a limit resource. So let's say this is the windmill, just for testing. I can put here, let's say 5 of them. So I can put there 5 items of seeds, and then it's converted into 5 items of flour, but not like infinite 14s. So that's fine. So this is one of the mechanics that I will reuse or try to use in a few places. I was just checking for them. I need to check also about them stacking items, not having a lot of them. And as I say, what I need to do for any item here is defining which types you can just kind of craft on this object, and then also the capacity for the items, and also the time that is producing right now is manually doing. But I'm thinking to take the time from the receipts, because the recipes have already time, so I can just take the time for recipes, and after each time it's just converting or producing or crafting one of the recipes that you have there with the ingredients that you have there, you know. So that's how it's working. Is as usual. If you have, for example, I don't know, any game or survival game, you put things like machine or things like that, and just coming later and taking all the things that you have in this machine working. If you put there, I don't know just cement, or just using, I don't know which one is in other games, for example, I don't know, converting iron or things like that, you put there, and after time working this machine is just converting for that, you know. Well, 5 months. I hope that people is playing for 5 months. I mean, 5 months real-time game probably will be less. But yeah, kind of penalty. You are not coming on time, let's say. So, for example, you are producing eggs. You should be just collecting them in maybe a couple of days, 3 days. Otherwise, it's just losing, and I don't know. You are just losing this one. Just to keep working on a few things. This is not survival, or this is farming 24/7, of course. But everything that you are not doing or supposed to be doing as usual have a penalty to be real. Like, for example, if you are not working on farms, you will lose those plants. That's fine, you know. Hola Zeurin, bienvenido por aquí. Pues estaba aquí explicando que he hecho una mecánica nueva para el crafting, un poco distinta. Tengo una mecánica de crafting que ya es, digamos, bloqueante, ¿no? Y lo estaba enseñando para aquí la... A ver. Aquí... Tienes este, por ejemplo, ¿vale? Este de aquí, que tú puedes crear harina, pues de semillas, ¿no? O sea, te pones aquí, tú manejas esto con la mano y después de 1 hora trabajando, pues consigues harina. Eso es bloqueante, te bloquea durante el tiempo que tú estás haciéndolo manualmente, se pasa el tiempo y te cansas para producir ese ítem, que es una receta normal y corriente, para producir harina desde las semillas, ¿vale? Pero quiero que haya también el molino de agua y el molino de viento, en el que tú pones, por decirlo así, las semillas en un cajón y te vas. Y dentro de 1 hora o del tiempo que sea, esas semillas, digamos, se han convertido en harina porque el molino estaba trabajando la piedra, ¿de acuerdo? Entonces eso no es bloqueante. Pones los ingredientes y te vas. Puedes poner 3 de semillas o 5 de semillas, y cuando vuelves al rato, cada hora una de semillas se convierte en una de harina, ¿vale? Si tú vuelves a las 3 horas, pues quedan todavía 2 de semillas y hay 3 de harina porque se ha ido convirtiendo. Entonces eso no es bloqueante. Y sirve igual, por ejemplo, lo que decía, tú pones comida para las gallinas y después de 1 hora o de un día o del tiempo que se ponga, que da igual, la receta, digamos, se convierte en huevos, ¿vale? Entonces tú puedes poner alimento que se convierte en algo, o pones una cosa que se convierte en otra, que es un crafting normal y corriente, y no sería bloqueante, sino que sigue el juego y pasas de vez en cuando y recoges los ítems que tiene, ¿vale? Entonces hay uno, digamos, que es bloqueante y uno que no es bloqueante, que tú lo pones y te vas. El que es bloqueante solo puedes hacer, digamos, de una en una, no puedes ponerlo y que eso esté haciéndose, sino que puedes hacer, digamos, los elementos de uno en uno. Y sin embargo, el que no es bloqueante, pues puedes poner las cosas, ¿vale? Y pasas luego a recogerlas, o sea que... Ok, Sulbor, thank you for coming. Happy to see you again here. Great. Yeah, good night, have a good night. Hope to see you soon. As usual, I'm just adding or putting all the videos there as usual, so you can just check later if you are, of course, not on time or too late for being the streaming. And also I have streaming in the afternoon, so this is morning for me, and I will be streaming around 6 hours again, so maybe it's just better for you to have in the next streaming and not the one in the morning. I mean, night to night or things like that. Yeah, up to you. Anyway, thank you for coming. Have a nice day. Well, night, and then tomorrow good day. Claro, efectivamente es que los dos molinos, tanto el de agua como el de viento, encajan en eso, en que yo le ponga, digamos, los ingredientes, por decirlo así, y me vaya, ¿vale? Y a la vuelta, o después de un tiempo X, esos ingredientes son los que se han, digamos, producido, ¿vale? Esa sería la cosa. Creo que voy a hacer un reloj ante esto rápidamente para que se quite por lo menos. No sé si quedará algo abierto o se ha quedado por ahí algo pendiente, así que no se vayan. Voy a hacer un abrir rápido, muy rápido, ¿vale? A ver si esto baja un poco, que se descargue. Y a ver qué más tengo por aquí. Full screen podría ponerlo aquí de momento. Así que esa es la mecánica nueva para que haya los dos tipos de crafting. Uno bloqueante y el otro no bloqueante. Esto va a tardar ahora lo suyo. Que ya, por eso no me gusta hacer el reset, porque esto puede tardar 10 minutos en arrancar de nuevo, lo que sea, ¿sabes? Pero... los siglos 12 y 13 ya existía Bilbao en aquella época. ¿O era de los romanos? Ok. Ya podemos empezar rápidamente. Las ciudades empiezan en el siglo XIII. Sí. Las ciudades como tal, siglo XIII. Hola Soku, bienvenido por aquí. Empezarían en el siglo XIII. En el siglo XII todavía pues hay como pequeñas aldeas y tal, pero no son las ciudades dentro de los castillos. Había los castillos, pero no estaba la ciudad dentro. Todavía. De hecho, el sol lo inventaron los de Bilbao, ¿no? El sol, me parece, en concreto. A ver lo que tarda esto en abrir. Es que ya... lo temo, lo temo. Cada vez que tengo que reiniciarlo... es que el tema está aquí. 1 mega por segundo. Un mega. Leyendo a 1 mega el disco duro. Es que claro, así tarda en abrirse en Real Engine. Venga, hombre. 4, 5. Ahora sí. 1 otra vez. No, se había quedado pillado con el Visual Studio o lo que sea y simplemente reiniciar el editor, pero vamos que se me ha quedado aquí todo pillado de momento. Hola editor, bienvenido por aquí. Hola. Estoy reiniciando en un momento el editor porque se había quedado pillado con el Visual Studio. No creo que tarde mucho. Un segundo. Para los que se preguntan qué está pasando, pues efectivamente aquí tienen la respuesta. Claro, pero con presupuesto cero me temo que el SSD tampoco me lo puedo permitir. Lo siento mucho. Con presupuesto cero nada. Nada de nada. Ahí estoy peleándolo. Aparte que el problema es la placa base, que el bus de datos no da más. Entonces, aunque ponga el disco duro, al final me toca esperar. Porque de hecho tengo, por ejemplo, discos de USB externos, USB 3, y no van más rápido. Va a la misma velocidad porque la placa base, la memoria, o sea, lo que es el bus de datos de la placa base no da más. Por lo cual da igual que ponga un SSD o que ponga 2 USB externos de USB 3, o da igual, no va más rápido. Es lo que hay, así que... podría ponerlo, pero yo no creo que vaya más rápido que lo que va a ser. Es lo que hay y ya está. Y esto lo vamos a cerrar también. Ya veis a la velocidad que van las cosas. Bueno, pues yo creo que ya. A ver, la mecánica está. Vale. No. Ahora. Me receive. Break. Exacto. Vale, entonces para cada una de las recetas yo puedo coger el tiempo que tarda esa receta. Es decir, yo podría decirle que me compruebe de nuevo. En vez de ponerle aquí el tiempo, ¿vale? Yo le puedo decir que me compruebe dentro de X tiempo, que es lo que va a tardar al menos. Una de las recetas tardaría eso. Entonces tendría que elegir el tiempo mínimo de todas esas, ¿vale? Entonces, en vez de ponerlo como una variable que sea segundos por el tiempo, tendría que hacerle una variable nueva que sea minimum seconds, porque estos son segundos, ¿no? Seguramente. En segundos. Integer. Ah, y aquí también puedo usar eso. Get ingredients. Lo vamos a usar aquí. Te puedes pasar a Unity en cualquier momento, ¿eh? Ya lo sabes. Y ahora este sería aquí el complete. Bueno, no, esto no. Voy a hacer una cosa. Es que esto va aquí. Sequence. Entonces esto me coge los ítems de cada receta. Ahora voy a hacer otra cosa, que voy a volver a hacer la misma seguramente. Slow. Complete. Puedo hacerlo aquí. No, no es esto lo que quería hacer. Lo que intento hacer es el tiempo de todas las recetas, pero no me acuerdo muy bien cómo es esto. Si yo me lo cojo aquí, a ver, Get Game Manager. A ver si tengo esa acción, porque a lo mejor la tengo que crear en C++. Get Item Factory. Pero lo que quiero hacer aquí sería un Get Receipt. Vale. Get Receipt. Ahora. Y aquí sería Break Receipt. Correcto. Y aquí tendría la duración. Y ahora lo que tengo que hacer es coger esta duración aquí y decirle si es less, si es menor, si esto es menor que este, minimum seconds, y hay que un break, un branch. No, yo no creo, una interfaz es otra cosa, una función como interfaz es otra cosa. Es un comportamiento que no está definido. En este caso no, vamos, quiero decir, una cosa básica y debería estar definida. Pero bueno, esa es la manera de hacerlo. Es decir, yo cojo mi item factory o mi manager, de ahí cojo la receta y en esa receta, si yo lo abro, pues me aparece el tiempo. Ahora lo que voy a hacer es comparar si ese tiempo es menor que el, digamos, el menor que llevo hasta ahora mismo. Pues si es menor, lo que tengo que hacer es este minimum second, tengo que hacer aquí un set de este valor y ya está. Y eso me sacaría a mí el valor mínimo de... o sea, esto sería, cogemos todos los ingredientes y ahora aquí, esto sería... el tiempo mínimo por receta que me hace falta. Hola Hexam, bienvenido. Buenos días. Vale, este sería el minimum seconds que me hace falta a mí. Y lo voy a poner cuando eso termine. Voy a hacer un print simplemente. Append. También un segundo aquí. Y así vemos si lo ha... Venga, hombre. Ahora sí. Cero. ¿Quiere decir que todos son cero o qué? Yo creo que no. Append. New time. No pasa por aquí. Ah, claro, sí, porque el minimum second en principio, claro, no debería ser 0, sino que debería ser, por ejemplo, un número grande. Para que siempre, digamos, el primero que encuentre sea el menor. Ahora. Ok, 60. Ok. Hosting, Moji Games. Hey, thank you for the hosting. Welcome here. Creating a new mechanic, so that's why I'm just messing with the blueprint. This is just node scripting kind of code, but the mechanics is going well. It's about crafting recipes, creating just for testing Xbox, but creating like blocking crafting and not blocking crafting. Hola Gonzo, bienvenido por aquí. So I'm just adding a few items here. Para Gonzo también que acaba de llegar, también lo explico otra vez. I have two different crafting, let's say for the same thing, for the same recipe, for the same ingredients. But one of them, let's say it is doing manually, so it's supposed to be blocking you. Then you are working. Let me just show which one visually should be easier to see. So let's say you are crafting, let's say seeds to wet floor or things like that. So if you are doing this one, you are doing manually here, so you will spend a few time just working on it, and you will be blocking for 1 hour until you produce from the ingredients, the items that you have, the item that you want to produce. So this is one of them that is doing manually. But in case that, for example, you're using exactly the same recipe for this windmill or watermill here, you have exactly the same recipe here, but in that case it's giving you the option to put a few of them, let's say 3 items of seeds, and then leave. So this is not blocking, you just leave here, and coming after a few times you are coming here and you should have at least like a few items being converted already, but not blocking you, because you are using this kind of machine for that. So I was just creating this crafting that's not blocking you, and also you can put more than one, let's say, ingredient or group of ingredients for recipes. So after a few times you will have all of them being converted. So what I'm doing right now, just for testing, you see, is well, it's just 5 seconds, not waiting for long. So I'm going here, let's say this is the place for crafting things that you want. So first I'm just taking from the receipts that are being allowed for this kind of crafting. I can put a few ingredients, for example, let's say this one and that. After 5 seconds, one of them is being converted. It's just producing one of the receipts, as you see, for example this one. Okay, so this is manually crafting or converting them after time. Okay, so I can just put a few more and then just leaving, let's say, and just walking around, and then time is passing. Okay, so if I'm just coming here, I see that you have more items being produced. So still I have 2 seeds, so I will just wait for 10 seconds. And supposed to be, well, only one. So this is just crafting, working, you know, things here. So you have already all the items that are being produced for that. I can use, for example, for animals. Okay, Emoji Gaming, no problem, go there. I will stay here for 30 minutes. Juan, buenos días. So that's the way that the crafting is working. So you can put a few items here, and after that you are just coming after some time and you have all the items being crafted. You can use, for example, for animals, so you put food, let's say chickens, you put food there, and after some time you're just coming here and chickens are producing let's say eggs, for example. So for animals you are just feeding them, putting all the items, coming later, and you have all them, you know. Yeah, exactly. I need some sounds for crafting. I have few of them, but not everything. I will just show which one that I have. And also I would like to have some kind of basic animation with hands, that you see that you are just doing things, you know, something simple. But for example, this one you have sounds when you are already crafting this one. So I will just play here. Ya sabes, Miguel, que hay también la de por la tarde, la sesión de por la tarde, por eso no te preocupes. It's just blocking, yeah, exactly, not much space. Okay. So here you are just crafting this one. At the moment I'm just blocking, so the user is being blocked, and they're just waiting for the items. You are producing already one of the items that you have been doing, but you are being blocked or during this time. So all this time you are being blocked, and after you have the item and you are creating one by one. Okay, so you are creating one by one and time is passing. So you check here, you see that the time is passing and you feel more tired and so on, so everything like that. Well, no space in the inventory. Exactly. No inventory space, that's fine. So yeah, this is just blocking, crafting, and the one that I'm creating is not blocking you. So you put there all the items and then just leave. Coming later and you have all the items there ready. So I'm just adjusting things like time coming from receipts, ingredients that are being allowed, and things like that, and I'm working on it. Cool. por eso lo comento que es la sesión de la tarde para el que no lo pueda ver por la mañana porque es muy tarde o es por la noche de verdad, pues está el de la tarde para que lo podáis ver. Yo he empezado a la misma hora de todos los días. Uptime. A la misma hora de todos los días he empezado. O sea que os habréis descuadrado en algún momento de algo. So the next thing that I'm doing is just taking the time for the shortest time for all the receipts that I have here. And just for testing this, I was adding a few messages here. So just to take new receipts. So I will do this just print here. It's just messing, but I mean for testing. And this is the one that I'm trying to create. So I will have the direction for all the receipts that I have. I have 3 receipts here. So okay. So this is just taking. Let me just check the log. They say 60, a Newton is 60, and they 60 and 120. So I have 3 receipts, and one of them is 120. Probably this is the bread that you are creating, and this is 1 hour, 1 hour, and 2 hours, let's say. So this is taking like 1 hour, and it will be checking after 1 hour what is happening if you have all the items here to produce them. So the next thing is, okay, I have the time for them. So this is just finding the right time. I will remove those messages already. So this one is working. You can just already remove everything here. This is just messing. So yeah, this is just taking the minimum time, and I will use this one to kind of wake up this object or crafting after this time. Es que lo he dicho ayer. ¿Vosotros de verdad consideráis que yo tengo que parar lo que estoy explicando, parar el streaming y las personas que están aquí esperar a que yo responda cómo se busca en Google? ¿En serio pensáis que yo cada vez que preguntáis algo como eso tengo que parar el streaming? ¿En serio pensadlo un poco? Si cada vez que hacéis una pregunta que se busca en Google tengo que parar el streaming. ¿En serio? Mira que lo dije ayer o antes de ayer, que vino también un chico y hubo aquí un poco de pelea y todo eso. ¿De verdad pensáis que cada vez que hay algún tipo de pregunta de ese yo tengo que parar el streaming y la gente que lo está viendo se tiene que esperar a que yo lo responda o lo busque? Esa es la idea. The seconds, and this minimum second at this time that at least I'm just checking for them. What I would like to do probably is just taking the time, and this one is starting producing. So I will take the last time, and this being in minutes, so will be flowed. Pero es lo mismo, son cosas que yo tengo que parar, tengo que leer el chat y tengo que responderte para abajo que puedes buscarlo. Además así aprendes lo que es la palabra, porque si no, no lo hubieses aprendido. Yo entiendo que la gente de hoy es el esfuerzo mínimo, mínimo absoluto. Yo lo entiendo, pero bueno, no sé, me da rabia cuando estoy aquí, estoy pensando código, estoy haciéndolo, tengo que hacer ese tipo de respuesta. Así que te lo he buscado, porque ya pues esta vez lo tienes ahí. Convert item should be, this is the one that I'm converting. So I have the ingredients, and also at least needs to be paying past the time from the last time that I was just crafting. Should be at least the same time for that. So I have all the receipts, that's fine. And another thing that I need to check, this one is just checking for having all the receipts, so all the ingredients. So this one is having all the ingredients, fine. And I need to check also the time for this duration. So this one is get receipt. No. This one. I think I could create one also common function for that. I was just creating get ingredients, yes, and I will create new function get receipt. So this will be something much easier. And this is pure. And what I need to do is the item type, and the output will be receipt already. Just to avoid adding a lot of nodes for that. So this is again item factory. This is the item, and this is the receipt that I'm just taking. So I can reuse this small one, not just adding all the nodes every time that I need this. Just compiling. So here I have this get receipt, exactly, which is just one node, and one here, and I can remove them to create something smaller. And here I can do the same. So this one is get receipt, and doing this break I will take the duration for this one, and I need to see if this one have been already past time enough. Setsume, hola, bienvenido por aquí. Buenos días. So this is taking me the duration for this one. I need to be sure that this one is at least smaller than time elapsed. So this one is time elapsed. This is last time. I will create here a new variable. This is local variable. It will be time elapsed. And just to compare with this one, probably I will need to have this one in seconds. So that's this one that I'm creating on integer. And what I need to do is initially calculating this time elapse from the set here. And this is coming from last time, and also get accurate time, get accurate real time. So I have this one in seconds on partial seconds. There is no API for that. These are nodes that are being created on C++. And then the C++ code is using this API. Also check about API what it means, because probably you don't have the idea for that exactly what is this. This is programming interface. Where is the interface here? Where is the function they are just giving me, or things like that? So they are just node functions, things like that, and just creating. But it's really useful and faster to work with this. Really. So that's the time. I need to seconds, partial seconds. I don't need this one, so I can just take a time. I think it's giving me exactly that's the one that I need. Subtract, float. Okay, so this is the time in minutes and partial minutes. So what I need to do is multiply by int, which is 60, and then I should have seconds for that. Not sure, completely sure. So this is time from the last time I was just checking. Let's say that I will just update later, and this is the right time now. So no, it should be the opposite one, because this one is bigger, of course, and this is the last time. That's fine. So the difference is the number of minutes that have been passed, and to be in seconds I just need to multiply in seconds, and I hope this one converting will truncate. That's fine. So okay, so this is just converting, let's say, seconds that have been passed since the last time that I was just, let's say, crafting something. Okay, so time elapsed. What we need to check if that at least this direction is at least the time that time passed. So it needs to be less or equal, or we can just do, so time elapsed here need to be at least bigger or equal that time needed for that, and this is a branch. Well, this is one of the conditions that need to be true, and this is another condition that need to be true also. So in case that has the ingredients, that's true, needs to be also this one true. So this is a branch here. So in case that had the ingredients, also the time has passed, we will go here, and then just crafting and everything like that. And if we are just crafting, means yeah, craft receipt. So we'll reset the time from the last time here. So set, and needs to be the current time, and I will just move a bit this there. So time pass here is get time. Okay, just updating the last time that I have been crafting something. I think that's all. Well, I can use this one already here for the ingredients, so I don't need to recalculate again. So I can remove this. Yeah, I can just try to do the receipt here, and I can even use this item, which is exactly the same that is passing, and try to do everything more compact for that. Okay, and this is the condition also here. Well, programming is exactly the same. Imperative programming, any language, exactly any language is exactly the same. Yeah, and all things are based on C or C++, so that's exactly the same. Yeah. Hola Cirpla, bienvenido por aquí. Also Nils, welcome back. Trying to do any mechanics and yeah, missing a bit with the blueprints, but everything is working well, really, and not being complex at all. There's a few functions I see, not much, and they are being like a group, so that's fine. What I'm doing or trying to do is a mechanic that's not blocking, so just adding a few things on the crafting area, and after time is passing, it's just converting or crafting or doing all the recipes that I have on this object. I have already crafting, so but this is blocking, crafting that is blocking, and I have now a crafting that is not blocking, and just giving you kind of a storage place where you can put some of the ingredients, and after time is passing, they are being automatically being crafted. Let's say, for example, for the windmill, that you are not just staying there, just put the ingredients, and after that the windmill is working, and you will have all the new ingredients. Or for example, with the animals, so you are feeding animals, put there some food, and after that you are just harvesting or gathering a few items that are just producing from those I don't know, food or anything that you are just putting there. So that's the case, that you are putting things there and then just taking from them. So the first step is just defining here. I'm defining the recipes that I can just do here. Let's say from this point I'm taking all the ingredients that are being able to be storage here, but not others. And after that I'm just checking from time to time about the items that I have there, if I can just craft some of the. So for example, trying to do this is not being able because there is no crafting or receipt on this group that I'm just doing that are being able to use this one. But this one, for example, should be available because I have a few crafting that I can use for that. You know, and for example this one, which is not plenty of them. So I could just, let's say, leave here, and after a few times, some of the receipts should be just producing this one already. So this is for 1 hour, I think. So I will just move faster time. Seems to me that something is not working exactly as I was expecting. So yeah, but that's the idea, that you put there the things, and then after time is passing, the items are being crafted. So if this is true, have the ingredients, and also the time has been passed, time lapse, and well, the last time probably is not being rested, and this one needs to be when I'm just starting production, I think. So I was just using any time for testing, so that's working fine. And what I'm trying to do is finding what is the next time for the sort test recipe that they have there. So this last time needs to be set before I'm just trying to craft. And this is a good time. Okay, so when I start crafting, I will check here the time, if ready to produce. So let's say it's producing or start producing. I will put here is clear. So I say this is the time that I have been checking for that. Ready to produce, that's true. Going here, and then after producing any item, for example this is producing one item, which is just checking about the time that has passed from the last time. Let's say that in the end it's just finally producing this item, is resting again, this is the time passed from the last crafting. So this one should be working now. Let's see. So how is going with the clothing that you are working on it? I didn't see you again. So I will put few of them. So start producing. But it's just passing. Supposed to be that is 60 minutes, and it's just passing maybe like 10 minutes. Let me see again. Probably some problem converting time or checking for the last time, paying seconds, minutes, things like that. Okay, so adding a few of them. Yeah, exactly. It's like 1 minute. Yeah, there probably is some issue with converting time. Okay, this is get time. This is minutes. Less this time is also minutes. So this is the difference in minutes. So I just go into seconds here. Time elapsed is seconds. Wait, because this time 60 are minutes. Minutes, so probably I don't need this. So just moving the minutes that have been passed. Let's try game. That's quite simple and working well. I was just doing yesterday. Also the menus, all the interaction with click, with button clicking and things like that. So everything was pretty straightforward because I have most of the things being the same. So let's say now time is passing. 30, 40, 1 hour. Let's say 2 hours. Well, the thing is just trying to be, First thing is trying to produce this one, not waiting for the real time. So this start production, this minimum seconds, but they're not seconds, they are minutes. Okay. So first it should be checking after 1 hour. That's fine. And for some reason this is the minimum time not being passed. Let's say again. Oh, Joshua, welcome here. Let me just thank you for this host. Let me just doing on sort out. If I remember, is Sera Games your? Let me just check something like that. I'm not completely sure if this is the one. Is this your website? I don't remember, sorry. But anyway, if some of you don't know this guy, just check of this of the profile. So let me just take here the hosting, because he is also doing a game on Unreal Engine and it's kind of survival. Probably I don't remember exactly, but you have also the website there if you want to check more information happening maybe this evening. Buenos días, Alex. So check this profile also. He's also working on for the people coming from Joshua. Okay, so someone here following. Sorry, I cannot read this one, but thank you for the follow. Chinese something. So for people coming from Joshua, New Zealand, I supposed to be. I'm just creating a medieval RPG, also using Unreal Engine, using blueprints. I was just creating now a new mechanic with those blueprints. And I have been working this week creating, yes, actually, thank you for the follow. Someone in Chinese, I cannot read, sorry. And I have been working on a few models, new models for them. If you have been here before, probably I have been creating this small chart for the manor area. I was creating also the interior as usual, and all the small details. And I was just creating a new mechanics for not blocking crafting that I was just creating, because I have all of them being blocked for the time that you are working on it. You cannot move and the time is passing faster. And the new mechanic that I'm just creating is just putting a few items there. So let's say the ingredients, and after some time all the receipts are being produced, and then you are creating new things here. So let's say, for example, you are just putting the food for, let's see here, the chicken. So you are feeding the chicken, and after a few times you are just leaving, go walking, something like that, and after that time you are coming here, and let's say each hour one unit of food or seeds, let's say, is just being converted to eggs. So this is something that is not really blocking, and you can just put a few things on the storage and then come in later, and you have all the items being produced there. And this is the one that I'm using. For example, I will just show you one of the mechanics that I'm doing is already done. Is here. So you are, let's say, converting seeds to floor manually. So you spend here time and you are being completely blocked. So let's say, just to show you one of the mechanics that is blocking you. So this is the crafting. Okay, so I have the ingredients for the recipe. This is like a normal crafting for that. So I'm just making, and this is just blocking the player. Time is passing faster. Okay, you produce the item one by one, let's say. Okay, and the one that I want to do is, let's say, for example, the watermill. Here you have exactly the same recipes for that, but in that case, what I would like to do is, of course, not finished, but it's like coming here. The one for the receipt, you have exactly the same receipt, and I would like to put like ingredients here. So I put ingredients, and then I'm leaving, and after, let's say, 1 hour, one of the items have been converted to wet already. So yeah, you are going to sleep. I didn't see your yeah, you are going to sleep. So good night. Thank you for this host and for the people coming here. Welcome. So that's the thing that I'm trying to do, creating like different mechanics for them. So you can put your items and then leave them and then come in later. This is mainly for the windmill that I was just creating this week. I will just show you here. So this is another town, and I have this windmill here, and this is exactly the mechanic that is matching exactly here. So you come to the windmill, put your seeds, let's say, and then leaving, and after 1 or 2 hours everything have been produced, and you can just collect or gathering all of them later. So this kind of mechanics that you put things there and then take it later. So it's not the same like working on it, blocking you during the time you are working on it. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you. So if any of you that are new here, you want to know more about the game or even game development or anything, just let me know. You have been here before, maybe I will not explain again all the game and then continue working. But you have any question, want to see any other part of the map or mechanics or anything, just let me know. There's no problem at all. I can just explain everything you want. So, but that's the thing that I'm trying to do with this stupid model as sample with this table. So I'm just defining can play at this game. There is no demo at the moment because it's the early stage for the game. But yeah, for subscribers here, they can just try nightly build, but this is just nightly build, so they can just walk around, let's say. But this is not really a proper game, so you don't have still, because this one is based on story. I will just put here a small description for the game, really short description, but it's based on story. So at the moment there is no story, but they can just walk around, or for example try some of the mechanics that have been already creating. You can plant off farms, and you can take water from the well. You can go inside some buildings, because you can go any building inside. Everything have been modeled. So for example, even this house, even the second floor. So all the buildings that you see in the game have been modeled. Some of them of course empty at the moment because I'm just working on it, but yeah, for example the charts. So everything have been already modeled, and you can go inside on the progress of the game. So yeah, the only thing that I have is this one, so people just walking around checking a few mechanics, but there is no story, no missions. So this is not really a game that you can play. If you mean just testing or things like that, should be things like that, but not really testing because I'm working on it. So I don't really need like a feedback or testing, because I'm just checking or changing things quite often. So it's not really checking, but just being thankful for these people that supporting the project, and just giving them this kind of nightly builds that they can just, let's say, walk around this chart that they have seen that I have been doing during the streaming, so they can just walk, go inside, and that's all. But it's not proper game or nothing to do there, just walking. Yeah. So for any crafting, this is the type that I'm using, just a model. Of course, I can just change the model for that, so I can put any other thing. Doesn't matter. Yes. If you prefer the streaming in Russian, just let me know if you have any question. It's also fine. You can write Russian if you want, and I can just answer it in Russian. Yeah. I'm from Spain, by the way. So what I'm doing is just defining here the recipes that you have. This one is taking the ingredients that are being allowed to be storage here, and then it's taking also the time for each receipt that is just checking for them. So this is one of the things that I was trying to do now, and yeah, so step by step for that. So having the ingredients is fine, it's working already. Taking the time for the sources recipe is also fine, so I cannot put any item because they are not allowed on the recipe that I can create, but this one is allowed, so that's I'm doing. Oh, okay. That's fine. So the main language in the streaming is English, but for people that they are not speaking Spanish or English and they going to use or can use Spanish or Russian, I'm also explaining them. But the main language is English, as you see. Well, I'm speaking English and the chat is usually in English. So I can just put all the ingredients that are being allowed on those recipes. That's fine. And this one should be just taking the time for oops, sorry. Let's say here should be just start production, but it's not giving me this option for some reason. So I think that there may be some check that is not working well. So it should be like after 1 hour, at least one of them should be just being set up if everything's going well. Yeah, okay, so 1 hour, one of them have been produced. Let's say another hour, should be another one being produced. Okay, so that's let's say this is working. If I'm just leaving the time passing faster, I will have after a few time more of them. So this is another hour that has been passed. If I'm checking, I have another one here. So now since working, so every hour you have one of the recipes that's just crafting. So yeah, exactly. I'm just taking one of them, probably randomly for that. Yeah, just taking, let's say another hour and a couple of hours, and we will have everything being produced. The time is passing faster. Okay, start production. And should be just producing another one. Oops. Yeah, everything has been produced already. No, I'm not 20. Check exactly the sentence. It says more than 20 years working on IT. So it's not like I'm 20. Sorry. just testing. Alice just testing for some of the recipes that I have. I was just putting here a few of them. Doesn't matter. Let me check maybe the sentence is not properly well done. Let me just check this. Well, I could just rephrase this one, but yeah, exactly says this one. Spanish with more than 20 years experience, and it's not like a more than 20 years, and I have experience on IT, you know. Exactly. So you want to know exactly how old I am, just check my website. You have LinkedIn there. You see when I was studying on the university and do the math. That's fine. Alex, just for testing, I'm using a few recipes here, and I can just change any of them and then have the ingredients, and then the time is working, and it seems to me that everything is working now with the time expecting to be all the recipes, ingredients and everything like that. So it seems that everything is working, and I will remove this, find reference, no reference. delete. I think that's all. Everything is working now. Did you work for yourself? You mean working as freelance, or what I'm doing now, or what it means? So the receipts and the capacity, and that's all. Okay. So seems everything working. Well, I need to change this one to be minimum minutes to be clear what is this exactly. The engine is for free, completely free, so I don't need to pay anything about this, and everything that you see on the map I was creating manually on myself. So I was creating with the flowers, the vegetation, the trees, all the models, the textures that I was creating also, for example for this one, creating manually all of them. And yeah, the illumination, the map, the blueprint as you see here now, the C++ code, and everything I was creating on myself. So I didn't buy anything or pay for any other things, you know. You can check this YouTube channel that I have, and you can check all the videos that I have there for all the streaming from maybe the last year. So you have more than maybe 400 500 hours on video, but you can check many of the things that I was just creating, like for example this week I was modeling this, or this one I was modeling also during streaming, this card, the wheel, I was for example this one also modeling, this one that I remember, this small card also. So I was just modeling most of the thing. I was also doing all the level design that you check here during streamings, many things like shaders, yeah, everything. So everything that you see, I didn't buy anything or paying others, even I don't know, plugins or anything. So everything, let's say, for free. So I don't have any budget. That's the thing, that I don't have any budget. I need to do all the things for myself. Yeah. Well, depends which kind of game, and if you are alone or not, if this is your first game, and so on, you know. So, but yeah, you need a lot of things. You need to know about modeling, about how shaders are working, how the textures are working, and for example, know about coding, the user interface. As you see, I was also creating all the icons, interface, image, yeah, everything that you see in the game I was creating. Managing the audio, for example, so you see all the items here, everything that I was just also creating. I will start doing all things. So you need to know about a lot of different things, and of course it takes really lot of time. As I say, maybe I have been working for a year, and I was maybe spending like 3,000 hours already. So this is really time consuming and really huge task. So this is not something that you do in a weekend. Well, you can create a game, but you need years. Okay, depending on which game are you doing. If you are not knowing about coding, you can just maybe make a team with someone that is just coding. So in a group, it will be easier, faster, and so on. But if you are trying to do like the new MMORPG, survival, open world game, multiplayer, and so on alone, you will probably need like 300 years. So yeah, try to do something smaller, like maybe some platform game. If you think about maybe mobile games, something like that you could maybe create alone and not really long. So yeah, if you are trying to do, as I said, like MMORPG or things like that, being alone, not coding is completely impossible. You don't have enough knowledge, but if you have time, you can just acquire this knowledge, reading or studying, learning or things like that, watching tutorials and things like that. So yeah. Well, nobody's doing a game for you. I mean, and only having ideas means nothing. All of us have ideas, but you need to have also knowledge and spend time on it. So nobody's doing a game for you. You have a good idea or things like that. Yeah. But I said, it is your first game. You don't have enough knowledge. Try to do something smaller, like platform game on 2D for mobiles. I know that you want to create like open world survival and things like that. It's just boring creating like stupid game on mobiles. But try to do something small for the first time, and then you are just growing, and then doing a new game and so on. Trying to do so big for the first game is you are failing for sure, and you are doing nothing. So if you are doing first game, you will do the second game, which is much better or better than the first one. But if you are never finishing the first one, you will not have even the second one, and not the good one, and nothing. So try to do something small. Yeah, that's fine. Every of us have ideas. Ask here people in this chat. All of them have ideas for making a game, but they don't have the knowledge or the time, and that's the problem. So try to do something that you can do with your knowledge right now and with your time, because people have also family or a job, and you don't want to spend 12 hours a day making a game and things like that. So think about the resource that you have. I mean, about money, knowledge, and time, and try to do something on your scope. That's the only thing that I can tell you. That try to do something on your scope. That's all. So creating something so huge that you cannot manage, you are really wasting your time, because you are never finishing anything. So that's really, you need to think about this and try to do something on your scope that you can finish in, I don't know, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, or something like that. Making a game for in maybe 15 years, you will never finish this one, you know. Yeah, try something, at least try something, and you see how long it could just take for you, and how hard should be, what is the knowledge that you need to have, what thing are you just missing, and things like that. So this is perfectly fine starting, but think about something small, really. Even if you are starting, probably it's better to start with Unity instead of using Unreal Engine, because people say that's much easier, and you have a lot of community, and you have a lot of resource, the documentation is quite good. So maybe you should just try to start with Unity, something small, really small project. That's matter. So many times I was just saying, trying to explain, trying to convince people. I understand you will start a lore, a new MMORPG survival open world, not the platform. That's fine, but yeah. Yeah, you can just download for free Unreal Engine that I'm using, use for free, and you don't need to pay anything. You have all of them. For Unity, I think there is like a paid version or partially things like that. I don't know, but you can just download the one that is everyone using for free, and you can do a lot of things. I'm not completely sure how it's going because I'm not using Unity, but people here that are using, maybe some of them can help you, or just check the website with more information about what is included or not. But for sure, you can just do a complete game for that, you know. So check Unity. If you have seen before, check Unity, and yeah, check the tutorials and all the documentation. And it's really, I think it's easy to start working or trying to do any game with this, but I recommend you trying to do maybe 2D game initially, something small, and not 3D game, not open world, nothing like that. So try, if you are for example not coding, try to buy or find some free assets or some plugins that just helping you to do your idea of the game, and don't be focused on the realistic games that will take really long time for you. So even if you see that I'm doing this game and you don't see any other game, that's fine, but check out my LinkedIn and you see all the things I've been doing. That is not the first game that I'm doing the first thing on IT, so that's something like that. Welcome. As I say, I'm leaving here the stream because it's the time for me, but I will be streaming again in around 5 hours, and I have session in the morning and session in the afternoon. This is morning for me. Yeah, so I will be in around 5 hours, 5-6 hours. I will be streaming again for another 2 or 3 hours. Will be, and I'm streaming every day. So I'm starting in the morning, like 2 hours before the right time. The time is right now. and doing for 2 hours in the morning, and then in the afternoon maybe 3 or 4 hours. So you can just come at any time, let me know, and then continue the process. If you are not on time or it is not easy for you, you can just check, as I say, the YouTube channel with all the videos that I'm uploading later with all the streaming, so you can check the one that you are missing and then continue watching the progress for that. Because at the moment I'm only working on streaming, so everything that I'm doing is only doing streaming, so you are not losing anything if you are watching the videos. So I will just leave here the stream. It is time for me to leave. Lunchtime. So if you have any question, want to see any other thing, any other part, otherwise, as I say, I will be streaming later. Hope you are just joining me later. Let me check. We can just pass this streaming for someone here. This just we can pass to this guy, or we can pass to yeah, we can pass to this guy, I think. Well, for people that I know that people is using here Unity, I will just pass to a guy that is also working on Unity. You can have a look at this game, and he is really helpful also, so maybe you have a few questions for him, and you can check what is they doing. This is like a small thing that they are doing, a game that is not so big, and probably you are just giving some ideas for that. So I hope you like this. Gracias, Alex. Luego hablamos entonces. See you later. So thank you everyone for coming. Have a nice time, and I hope to see you later. Gracias a todos los que habéis venido por aquí. Espero veros luego. Os voy a pasar ahora con Cortex, con Simon. Gracias a todos por pasar por aquí. Que paséis buena tarde. Adiós.